Hey, what is up you guys? It is Andurand bringing you another video, another weapon balance video, where we're ranking more weapons, this time the assault rifle class, which was very difficult because this is a very balanced weapon class, at least in my opinion. But without further ado, here comes number 7. So kicking off our list at number 7 is the ICR-1, what everyone calls the ICR. So for the first half of these gameplays, you will see the gun without attachments in its base form, and then I will flip it and the gameplay will be it with a sight and a couple attachments that I like using, so you can really see how well the gun can perform when it's loaded. So with the ICR, as you can see, it is a very accurate gun, and that is really the strong point of this weapon, is it is just deadly accurate. The iron sight is really nice as well. It may actually be my favorite in the game. And as you can see, like I said, the recoil is just near non-existent. This gun is very satisfying to use due to its accuracy being so good. You can just kind of sit behind a little head glitch or pick people off without having to worry about controlling your recoil. You can get away without using a grip, so it's really powerful in that regard. I do really enjoy this gun. However, that being said, it has the lowest in class damage, and that's why you find the ICR at number 7. There are just way too many times in which you just seem to be one bullet off getting a kill, or one bullet off getting a double and stringing kills together, as its fire rate isn't good enough to counter the fact that it doesn't do any damage. And obviously that is my biggest gripe with this gun, is it just doesn't do damage, and it's so frustrating because I really do enjoy this gun. It is so much fun to use, but you just get into those gunfights that you're just going to lose against subs and every other assault rifle. The assault rifle class is way too strong and very unforgiving when it comes to these gunfights. You're just going to get melted by every other gun. To truly compete with a very strong assault rifle class, you need the ICR to have a higher fire rate, so you got to put on rapid fire, which in turn you really need to put on extended mags because you're going to run out of ammo too quickly. And then you find yourself with 2 slots out. Luckily enough, you don't really need an ELO, although I do use it in this. You can get away with just using the iron sights. You can get away without using a grip. So if you put on a quick draw, high cal, rapid fire, extended mag combo, I think that is really the best idea for this. So clearly, the ICR just doesn't compete with the rest of the assault rifles, and that's why it finds itself sitting at number 7. We have the ICR at number 7. Jumping into number 6 is the XR2. The XR2 is the first burst fire weapon you unlock in Call of Duty, and when I first used it many patches ago, I loved it. It is very fun to use, and even to this day with all the patches going around, it is a very satisfying gun. It's lots of fun. It does a lot of damage, it's got a great fire rate, and it really thrives in that medium to long, maybe more on the medium side, but that range that so many maps and so many gunfights come down to. However, as you can see, with no attachments, first off, just the iron sight is horrendous. I cannot stand the iron sight. The first thing I needed to do was put a sight on it before I could really enjoy this weapon. The ELO looks fantastic on it, you'll see later. So other than the fact that the iron sight is bad, without attachments, the damage drop-off seems to be way too present in this gun. I don't really notice it in other guns, but in this one, especially it being a burst fire weapon, I never really seem to get one burst kills unless it's very close up, which is totally different from the M8 that you can get one bursts pretty frequently, honestly. So when you're putting on attachments other than an ELO, which isn't crucial, as I will just reiterate, I don't know why I hate the iron sight so much. Maybe it's a little unjust. I can't stand it. You throw an ELO on, you're going to need long barrel, quick draw. You never need grip on a burst fire weapon, although the accuracy is a little shaky on the XR2. You need to control it. That's another thing I was going to mention, is the accuracy is very low for a burst fire weapon, so it's very odd and it's frustrating at times, but it is still a good gun, although I am ranking it at 6. Like I was saying, long barrel, ELO, quick draw, maybe a stock. You could add rapid fire, but the long barrel is definitely what you need to be putting on. Trust me, with a long barrel, you'll notice the damage drop off is way less, although you're not going to be getting one bursts. If you put that together with high caliber, you can start picking people off of head glitches in one burst. But for a burst fire weapon, you really want the range, and you definitely want the tight burst accuracy and the ability to kill people in one burst, and that's just something the XR2 doesn't deliver, and I think that is why I ranked it here at number 6. So we had the XR2 burst fire in number 6, which leads us into the next spot, number 5, the HVK. The only gun that shoots faster than the HVK in the entire game is the Vesper, so I don't know how they can possibly get away with calling this gun an assault rifle, but that's what Treyarch calls it, and it's good enough to make number 5 on the list. Now you may be thinking that number 5 isn't that great, but trust me, the assault rifle class is completely stacked. I mean, if it was ranking my favorites, the HVK would probably be a lock for number 1. It's basically the missing link between SMGs and ARs. Like, that's the best way for me to put it, and I love SMGs, but that's not the case. This is me judging the best, and the HVK kind of finds itself in the middle of the pack in that regard. So the HVK it doesn't really have great range or damage, and the average accuracy. So you're really thinking, what's good about this gun? The accuracy is maybe listed average. It feels a lot better than it actually says in the stats, but you put that together with the just ridiculous fire rate, and it just shreds through people. It is a complete machine. So the time to kill is so much better than the ICR and the XR2, and that's why I put it up here, because the fire rate is just so powerful. And as someone that uses SMGs almost exclusively in the past few Call of Duty titles, so this gun serves as the perfect transition from an SMG to an AR, and then you can start moving into the better ARs in the top 4. That's really what I think this gun is perfect for, is that transition, or that little in-between game. It's like the medium range. It really works. The iron sights are really nice, actually. I do love it. This gun is so much fun to use. But if you're going with attachments, since the sight isn't that great, you can put a sight on it. I do myself. A grip long barrel combo really counters the fact that it has a limit on range and is kind of weak in the accuracy department. And as this gun does have a crazy fire rate, extended mags is probably a good idea. But you can get away without it. I do wish I could rank this gun higher, as I absolutely love it, as I said before, but there are just 4 guns that are better. Right directly in the middle, at number 4, the KN-44. The KN-44, named the ARK-7, I believe, in the beta, is essentially the AK that we've known, and it is essentially the same gun, the same AK that we've come to love in all of the previous Call of Duty titles. It's got that classic, very, very classic AK feel to it. The high damage, the range, the great fire rate, and then just the unforgiving accuracy. It's got a lot of kick to it, and I was hemming and hawing behind putting this in the top 3, but it just fell short because of that recoil. But that being said, if you can control this gun, it can be an absolute beast for you. It has a great iron sight, and that high damage, like I said, it is so powerful put together with the range and the fire rate, that the accuracy, you throw a grip on there, and I even put a suppressor on sometimes, it can really counter it out. You don't really need a sight, although I do use it in the gameplay. Like I say all the time, I'm using the sight. I'm trying to keep the guns with a similar attachment set, just so I can really compare them. But that being said, this gun really does hold its own without attachments. If we're going to an attachment preference, I did mention the grip, the suppressor. You can put an ELO on it. A long barrel is nice, but really all you need is the grip and maybe a quick draw if you prefer it, because other than that, it's stacked at the other positions that you need it for. It's got the good range, it's got a good fire rate, so you don't really need long barrel, you don't really need rapid fire. It's got great damage. You can put high cal on to make it even more powerful. But this is one of the guns, and this is really my favorite thing about this gun, is I can load up on perks with this gun. I love the iron sight. I put a grip and suppressor on when I'm actually running this in a class. With the ability to stack on more spaces due to only having to use the grip and suppressor, it makes this gun so versatile. You can put a pistol as a secondary, you can load up on perks, you could even run overkill, which is what I've done a couple times. It's a good weapon for that, and I really love it, but it just does not crack the top 3 for me. Starting in our top 3, in 3rd place is the Shiva. So here we have it, we're in the top 3 now, and I think the top 3 is really where we begin to separate the great guns from the elite guns. These top 3 are elite weapons, and I like the Shiva. I love single fire weapons, I always have, and you have to be accurate to benefit from it, and I think it's a more skill-based weapon, although it pisses me off when people kill me with it still. It just makes for more rewarding kills because you feel like you're really working for it, because you can't just hold down the trigger and then catch a few lucky bullets, right? So you got the top of the class damage, obviously, as it is a single fire weapon, and it's the 2nd highest range just behind the M8A7. And although the shots are slow, it can be so accurate and so powerful that you totally forget that you're shooting one bullet, because it doesn't pull. Every bullet that shoots isn't just based on a trigger pull like previous titles, where previous single fire weapons like the M14 and stuff like that, you could just spam the trigger and that's how fast it was going to shoot. And that I think really balances out, because it could be the most ridiculous gun if they let that happen. The iron sight I do not enjoy at all. I just don't like it, so I always put an ELO on it if I get the chance. But there is just nothing more satisfying with this gun than peeling somebody off a head glitch with one bullet, and that is why you have to use high caliber. If you're using this gun and you're not running high caliber, you're doing it wrong. because you will be so happy. Just a guy running around, even coming at you, he starts shooting at you with the VMP, and you pop him right in the head with that perfect shot. Feels so good. And you can use rapid fire as well because it's nice, because the fire rate is pretty slow, and if you're accurate enough, it's a 2-bullet kill. So the rapid fire is really helps just to be speeding up those kills, obviously. But this thing is the ultimate long-range weapon. This gun does struggle in short range against subs, but you can get a couple lucky hip fires, which I do in some of these clips. But this gun, 3rd place, so powerful, and there are just 2 guns that are slightly better. So we're down to our final 2, and the gun that just falls short of the number 1 spot is the Man O' War. This gun is so good. I don't know how to even start it. This is a military shooter game that we're playing, and no gun makes you feel more like a super soldier than the Man O' War. I guess that's why they got the name, really. This gun is the perfect assault rifle. It feels just so perfect. It's almost hard to explain how good it feels to use this gun until you start tearing people through. Without attachments, it may kick a little bit too much, and it may shoot a little bit slow for some people. I still like it without attachments. Once you get used to it, it still can just shred through enemies. Ideally, you're going to want to challenge people from a little bit further away because, like I said, it's a little slow. But this thing makes it so easy to peel people off of head glitches because it's just so powerful. Do not underestimate this gun at all, because this gun can win gunfights from just about anywhere, and that's without attachments. But if you fully want to unlock the beast that is the Man O' War, I hated this name at first, I'm not going to lie, but really, it's the perfect name because this gun is actually just perfect. But I'll go back to it. To unlock its full potential, I suggest adding rapid fire. Counters the fact that it shoots a little slow. The grip and quick draw, obviously I use that on almost every gun. And then your preference of sight, probably ELO. Then this gun just feels unstoppable, I tell you that much. You just watch the clips, get your own clips using this gun, because this gun is so much fun. It just feels powerful, and it's one of the most satisfying experiences I've had in a Call of Duty, is to use this gun. My buddy John has almost 30,000 kills with it. He is starting to use submachine guns, so props to you, John, for doing that. But this is his gun of choice. I kind of gave him shit for it all the time because I didn't really understand. I thought he was just stubborn using this gun. But he told me to rank the best ARs, and I was going to throw the Man O' War probably in the bottom just to piss him off. And then I actually used it, and holy shit, it deserves its spot up at the top 2 as one of the best guns in Call of Duty. The number 1 assault rifle, king of all guns in Call of Duty, maybe behind the VMP, is the M8A7. If you've ever watched a game of COD World League, or even hopped on a stream of anybody that streams this game, you have to know what the best AR is, because everybody uses this gun. Without attachment, this gun does struggle a little bit, I will admit. I don't really like the iron sight. You can get away with it. Without quick draw, it just seems a little slow, but I mean, that's what attachments are for. People aren't running guns without attachments, period. You load this gun with rapid fire, high cal, ELO, quick draw. I like to put stock or long barrel because this gun, I'm just going to put as many attachments on this because you don't need anything else. You don't need perks with this gun. You don't need anything but this gun. You'll have the most dominant gun in the game when you put everything like that. I say it beats the VMP, honestly. 1 burst kills, you can just do it on the regular. It's so easy, and it's extremely rewarding to just pull the trigger once and get a kill, like I was saying with the Shiva. Shiva's a little bit more satisfying because it's just that 1 bullet coming out. But when you're challenging somebody and they jump up and you hit them with all 4 bullets of that burst and you kill them, it feels so good. And you can pick people off head glitches because this gun has the best range of all assault rifles. Call of Duty has been known for having burst fire weapons as their top weapons. If you're going back to Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, the M16 and the FAMAS were 2 of the best guns, and everybody loved using those, and we're kind of going back to that. I think the burst fires have kind of struggled in the past, but I think the M8 is really bringing it back to the forefront. I really enjoy using it. I think anyone else that uses this gun will enjoy it too, as you'll see a ton of people, in not only arena, but in pubs as well. This gun, the M8A7, try it out with the attachments I've suggested. It is a complete beast. You will not regret it. So there you have it, all of the assault rifles, minus of course the MX Garand, because I don't really count it as I don't have it yet. If I do have it, I'll put up a gameplay eventually. I don't think it really counts because not everybody can have it. I have a video about how much that pisses me off. I'll link it down below. But I hope you enjoyed me ranking it. If you have a different rank, leave it in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.